Good afternoon, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Top 10 Songs. We are here once again with the Hollywood Squares.
Woo.
Elliott, I know you might be a little too young to remember Hollywood Squares, but big popular show that the rest of us grew up on. Anyway, thanks for everybody for joining. We've got in the house, we've got Brian
Square
Slagel
number one.
Metal Blade Records. We got Elliott Fullam from Little Punk People. We got Steve Keeler from Rock Fantasy. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for joining. Today, we are going to each of us count down our 10 favorite tracks from the great heavy metal band Mercyful Fate. Of course, the fantastic band that kind of got King Diamond his start in heavy metal lore. So you know how it goes. We're each going to start at number 10, work our way to number 1. We're going to have Elliott join us first. I'm not quite sure which way you guys are going to see this.
I think everybody actually sees it in a different layout, because on my screen, you're in the left, Elliott's bottom left, and Brian's underneath me. So I'm in square number 2 up here.
I know they do that because when I rewatched it, I think I pointed to Steve and he was somewhere else. Nothing, basically. So.
I think whatever you see is not the way it's going to appear on the video.
So I'm not pointing at anybody now.
So my guess is, because I see Elliott to my left.
Yes,
I probably should do this, but anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Elliott's going first.
Elliott's going first. What's your number 10 Mercyful Fate song?
All right, for my number 10 Mercyful Fate song, I have Nightmare Be Thy Name off of the Time album, which came out in 1994. I love the beginning because it sounds like classic Halloween, like you're trick-or-treating with your friends on Halloween night. I love the solos on the song. I love the chorus. And I feel like this album is very underrated while we're on Time. Of course, all the other albums are incredible. Melissa, In the Shadows, Don't Break the Oath. But I feel like this album is awesome as well. And I have it here.
Yeah, nice. Cool.
A great album.
Agreed.
Who's next?
Go ahead, Brian.
Is it Brian, okay.
Yeah, I agree with what Elliott just said. All those 90s, the one thing I'll get it out of the way now, all those 90s Mercyful Fate albums are very underrated. I think they're all really good. You'll see in my list, I actually have a few in there. And this list was horrible. I don't know why I agreed to do this. This was agonizing, hours and hours last night. Even today, I was re-listening, going like, wait, should this be there? Should that be there?
Yeah.
So I'm taking a little bit of a mulligan, sort of, that I did with King Diamond, and my number 10 is a tie.
Woohoo.
But it's really kind of a mulligan because I think we add the total time on these two tracks, it's about 40 minutes or something. So my number 10 is a combination of Burning the Cross, which is a really obscure Mercyful Fate track, or somewhat obscure, and one of the only ones that no one in the main band wrote. It was written by another guy who ended up not being in the band, obviously. And then from Melissa, Satan's Fall.
Satan's Fall, yeah, it's such a strong song.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to copy Brian because I've got a tie for number 10 also. I didn't know. I did the same thing last night because I was working on my website all day. My wife went to bed early, and I've been going to sleep kind of early during this quarantine. But I came out in this room. This is my hangout room. I had a strong drink, and I put on some records. I'm like, all right, I've been listening to Fate all week. But I had 2 songs, and I didn't know what to do with either one. I wanted to include them both. They're both from the Don't Break the Oath album. One is The Night of the Unborn, and the other one is The Oath. And both of them are so strong. I mean, in this list, you can flip around like any other week. But the Night of the Unborn, I just love that song. I think it could be higher up, but then as you listen, it's so hard to choose which one goes here, which one goes there, like Brian said. So those are my number 10s to keep it short, because we got a lot of them.
Well, I was going to pull a mulligan. I'm glad I didn't, because you guys both did. And I pulled a mulligan the other night on my show with Chris Caffrey, the Sabotage show. So I said, I'm not going to do 2 in a row. So I figure so my number 10, I'm going to kind of echo Brian a little. I'm going to go way back to the beginning album, one of the early recordings, A Corpse Without Soul. That's kind of like one of the early epics that nobody knows. It's kind of really, I mean, the song structure, the guitar work, it's really kind of proggy, man, as evil as it is. And I think that's just a terrific song. There you go, Steve. Yep.
I know.
Great stuff on there.
I know that one.
That's my number 10. All right, Elliott, number 9.
All right, for my number 9, I have The Oath from Don't Break the Oath. Came out in 1984. I love the opening sequence with the bell. It sounds like Black Sabbath, the song Black Sabbath. This song, it would be very cool to see King Diamond perform it live with the beginning. I could picture and envision him just all the cool stuff that's going on. And I love it when King Diamond sings along with the guitars later on in the song.
Oh, yeah. Great stuff.
Now, a bit of a spoiler alert from me. I did not pick The Oath as one of my top 10. It was one that agonized me forever. But that riff, the beginning riff, that big riff is just spectacular. I mean, look, all these songs are great. Obviously, I'm a massive fan of the band, and so it was like everything is good. So anyway, for my number 9, I picked one of the classics off Melissa, Into the Coven.
Yes. Awesome choice.
Classic stuff, great live.
Definitely. And it's my turn for number 9. This one I listened to about 4 times last night because I'm like, first I didn't have it in the top 10. And I'm like, how do I not have this in the top 10? Melissa. The song Melissa from Melissa. And at first I'm like, I don't know if I want to put it in because there's so much good stuff, but it made my top 10. And I think I'm glad it did make the top 10.
It's a classic. It is.
Yes.
All right. My number 9. Before I give you my number 9, Brian, I love your shirt. I have a handful of Thin Lizzy shirts. I do not have that one.
Oh, cool.
Gonna have to
Chinatown.
Gonna have to take care of that. Yeah. So and my number 9 is also Into the Coven from Melissa.
Copycat.
It had to be on here. What's that?
I don't think we've tied on the exact number.
I don't think we have. No. But I'm sure there's going to be more coming up. So, all right, Elliott, back to you, number 8.
All right, so this is Gypsy, also off of Don't Break the Oath. I like this song because it's driven by a really awesome mid-tempo. It just makes like, and I love the main riff.
Probably the catchiest song they ever did, I would think. Right?
Yes, it's very catchy.
It totally is, yeah.
I'm glad Elliott's picking these because these are all the songs that I agonized over that didn't make my top 10.
Always someone's repping them, right?
So as I mentioned earlier, I'm a big fan of also the 90s Mercyful Fate stuff, which gets overlooked a lot, obviously, because the first 2 were great. So I'm going to pick something off the very last record they did, which was called 9, that came out in 1999, if you can believe that.
Yes.
Burn in Hell, great riff, great song. Burn in Hell from 9 as my number 8. I probably should have made it number 9. But.
We're at number 8. At number 8, my number 8 is At the Sound of the Demon Bell. Everything will turn to. Anyhow, but another strong tune. Like it was hard for me not to pick from Don't Break the Oath and Melissa for the top 10, other than maybe a song or 2 off of the beginning. From the earlier stuff, but At the Sound of the Demon Bell is my number 8. I just love that song and the changes and everything that go on in it. It's an epic Mercyful Fate song.
That it is.
Now I'm so mad that this virus is here because I would have been coming to Vegas to see Mercyful Fate. I could have been hanging out with Slagel in the hometown. Got a little tour maybe.
Yeah, we were going to open our museum right around then. So next year.
Really?
Next year. Hopefully.
I'd pray for next year, yes.
I think Psycho Fest is all more or less confirmed for 2021 now. So
pretty much everything's just getting pushed back a year. Yep.
All right, Elliott, back to you.
All right.
Well, actually, I didn't go. Yeah, all right, sorry.
Pay attention.
Always giving it up to my guest here, All right, number 8 from Into the Unknown. How about The Uninvited Guest?
Yes, that's a good one.
Another one of their good, really heavy but catchy songs. I dig that. One of my favorite of the latter period stuff.
Nice. All right, for my number 7, I have A Dangerous Meeting, also off of Don't Break the Oath. 3 songs off of Don't Break the Oath in a row. A classic song from a classic album.
That song is great.
It is.
It's a great song.
Don't worry, not all my songs are off of Don't Break the Oath.
I just realized we were all really true metal nerds because we're all wearing glasses. I just noticed.
Yeah, I noticed that last time.
Either that or we're just, I'm old, so I have to have glasses. Elliott's younger, but
I think I had glasses when I was Elliott's age as well, so it just has nothing to do with that.
they also work again. They work for sneeze guards now, especially if you put a little side tape on them. So when you're out in public.
Oh boy. So number 7, I'm gonna pick off the In the Shadows album, Egypt, which cool video for that too. And that was, so just a little backstory. Obviously, I pursued Mercyful Fate for years and years and years, begging them to reform. And finally, somehow, I broke them down, I guess, by asking them enough, and they finally reformed. And In the Shadows was the first record we put out, which was a special moment in my career, being able to do that. So I picked Egypt there. First video we did for them and everything else. So cool track.
In the Shadows is a strong, that and Time, I think, were two of the stronger ones from the 90s.
Yeah, yep. I agree.
And I'm up to number 7. I'm going to welcome you guys into the coven. Howl like a wolf. We've been singing King Diamond around all week, and it's been kind of crazy because it's how many weeks of quarantine. I told my wife, I said, you know, you're getting mad at me for singing like King Diamond. And then she started singing like King Diamond in the kitchen. I said, why don't we just go out in the back patio and start singing like King Diamond? Maybe the police
both of you together, right? Yeah.
Entertain the neighbors.
Yeah, yeah. So Into the Coven.
Cool.
Makes my number 7.
Brian, I don't know. Brian and I are on the same wavelength here. Egypt, number 7 from In the Shadows for me.
Wow.
Twice in one episode. This is crazy. And we're not even halfway through.
You guys were comparing notes last night.
Yeah, secretly, I guess. Yeah.
Great minds think alike, right?
We're up to
number
6.
Number 6. I have Angel of Light, also off of Time. I love the chorus on that song and the solos, and I love the chorus when he takes a time, like a little second, just to say Lucifer.
Oh, that song is I have to say that might be even catchier than you said. Gypsy was catchy. This song is completely catchy.
Yep.
Yes.
And definitely, I love that song. I just didn't think it could make my top 10 because I'm weighing too much on the early stuff. That's being a little stronger.
This is all proving Elliott has very good taste. So
Elliott's good.
Very good. So I went back to another one of the 90s records, and I almost was going to put this higher, but there's so many good songs that it's tough to do it. So I picked the title track off of Into the Unknown, which is Into the Unknown. Now, when King when Mercyful Fate was touring, I believe that they only played this on one tour maybe. And it might have been the King Diamond Mercyful Fate tour. I can't remember. Anyway, I was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and they're playing about a 600-700 cap room in Fort Lauderdale. And on that tour, I didn't know this until I saw it, but King, when he sang that song, because he goes, you know, I point at you, my finger points at you. And he would like look into the audience, he'd find somebody and go, my finger points at you. And he'd do that 4 or 5 times. And at one point he pointed it right at me, scared the living hell out of me. I mean, I know the guy, but like in his character, in all that makeup, my finger points at you. It's like, oh my God. That's scary.
I like Elliott's reaction. Elliott sells the face. Elliott's going to be a rock star one day, I think. You gotta remember when he's on this show, he's like when he's fronting some metal band down the road from now.
Hope to someday.
There you go. Keep those goals. They're important.
So who's it my turn for what? Number 6?
Number 6, yep.
I'm just keeping with all these evil titles. We had At the Sound of the Demon Bell. We went into the coven, and now we're doomed by the living dead. From the beginning album, that I had Corpse Without a Soul, and I listened to Doom, and the Doom by Living Dead I like a little bit more. I just thought it was it's raw, it's heavy, it's nasty, and it's great.
Yeah, they're both of those songs are excellent.
I have a Mercyful Fate story to tell everyone. That's how old I am. I saw them at the Passaic Theater with Exciter and Motorhead. I believe
84, Steve? Was that 84?
84, yeah. I remember going down with like the Rock and Roll Heaven crew were all there, of course, from Johnny Z and Harold that had the Rock and Roll Heaven North. And I can remember like they were so like people don't realize now in 2020, like, oh, devil music, whatever. But when King Diamond came on stage that night and said that he wanted to turn the Capitol Theater into the House of Satan, like people were like, Like almost like how Brian still got weirded out a little bit from getting pointed at, but back then it was like it was so over the top. And like and the lyric, like I denied Jesus Christ and all this, and people are, I can remember people like coming into my store. That was before my store,
right?
And they were just, oh my God, like how can you listen to that? You know, you're gonna go to hell listening to that. And I'm like, yeah. But it was just so evil at the time, and it was so heavy. What a great bill that was, looking back on it.
Yeah. I remember going to Rock and Roll Heaven North and buying Don't Break the Oath and Slayer's Show No Mercy like at the same weekend, and coming back and listening to those. And I was like, wow, this is unlike anything else I had ever heard before. Both bands, pretty much, but especially back in the day, that was different. I mean, you know, you listen to Sabbath and all this other stuff, but then you heard Mercyful Fate and you're like, whoa. And, you know, you had Venom too. It's like, there was nothing like it at the time.
I can remember like the Rock and Roll Heaven North people call, like Sherry was his wife, I believe. Sherry and Harold. Like they would call you. It's like, Stevie, come down and spend. Come down, spend some money. Back at that time, I didn't have my store open, but I was selling stuff. I worked flea markets and fairs. I had like a rock and roll T-shirt booth, you know, doing that at the fairs, and then I in flea markets every Sunday. So I was still kind of in the business. But then I opened a store, and I don't think they liked me as much after that. I didn't mean to like hurt them by opening a store, but it was just something I needed to do at the time.
Well, if they would have picked another spot besides Warwick, they might have done a bit better. So
yeah, anyway. But it was
cool. It's a tiny little town out in the middle of nowhere in Orange County, New York. It was not a great place for a store. A cool store though. Anyway,
we used to go there so many times.
Oh yeah, I went there all the time. Yeah,
that Sabotage were there for an in-store. Remember?
Yeah.
I was there for Megadeth. They had a Megadeth in store. I remember hanging out with all of them, having the picture. I had a big mustache, and I
remember that old mustache. Steve had the old porn mustache going way back in the day. By number 6, I think Elliott has already picked this one. Gypsy from Don't Break the Oath. Killer tune. Very memorable song. All right, kicking it back this way, I don't know, wherever Elliott is on the Hollywood space here.
Elliott's down here on mine. He's in square number 1, right next to Charles Nelson Riley's not here today.
And Paul, where's Paul Lynn today? He needs to be here, right?
Paul Lynn, Charles Nelson.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't rerun that show, actually. It was pretty cool back in the day, the Hollywood Squares.
I watched it every day.
Yeah. All right.
Top 5.
All right, for my number 5, I have Evil off of the Melissa album. This is the first song off of Melissa that is on my list. Came out in 1983. I feel like this is a very solid song. I love his vocals. I love his singing structure in this song. To me, this album seems a little more rock and rolly compared to others. Kerry King, I saw him live at Mayhem Fest play with King Diamond, and they played this song. That was back in July 2015. July 2015, I was 10 years old, and here's a picture if you can see it.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. Nice. That's a great photo.
Yeah, my friend Kevin Wilson took that picture.
Where did you see that? What venue?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. It was at the Mayhem Fest. I don't know.
What in New Jersey?
Yeah.
Maybe
yes.
Camden.
And I just says PNC Art Center.
PNC, yeah.
Oh, nice. Autograph. Very nice.
Oh, there you go. Woohoo.
So funny story about Kerry King playing with King Diamond. So the very first Mayhem show, I said, like, I was talking with the Diamond guys. He's got to wear pants next time. So anyway,
you never know what to expect when Steve Keeler is on the show.
I'm going to tip it up now so you can't tell.
Yeah, pants next time. Pants.
Hey, I got shorts on.
I don't know, man. Anyway, so I was talking with the King Diamond guys, and Kerry King walks by, and I grab him in, and they're all talking, saying hi to each other. I said, you should play, you should do a song with them, come out and play a song. He's like, yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to do Evil. It'd be awesome. I was like, okay, cool. So they did it once, and then I missed, 5 or 6 shows, and I asked, because I talked to both guys after, both, King and Kerry afterwards, and they're all like, yeah, we'd love to do it. So about 5 or 6 shows go by, and I heard they weren't doing it again. So I see whatever the next show was. It might have been that New Jersey show. And I said, why are you guys doing this? And Kerry's like, well, I was afraid to ask. And King's like, well, I was afraid to ask. I'm like, really? You guys are too afraid to ask each other? So I grabbed them both and I said, okay, you're doing this. You're going to do this the rest of the tour. Carrie's going to come out and play lead on Evil. I'm like, okay. And it was like Carrie was, both of them said it was the coolest things that each one ever did. So
nice.
Glad you got to see that. That was fun, so super fun. Anyway, my 5 is also off Melissa, Black Funeral. Great title, great chorus, great lyrics, the whole thing.
I had that, and I'm like, someone's gonna yell at me for not having this on the list. And that one didn't make my list, but I was looking at it a couple of times, listening to it last night. Like, and it's so tough to pick them out.
It is.
I'm at number 5 now.
Yep.
I am at The Curse of the Pharaohs from the Mighty Melissa album. It also was on the beginning, of course, one of their early tracks. And how does it get much better than that? I don't know if I could put songs better than that on the list, but all these top, like at least top 5 or top 7 songs, I mean, they're all just super amazing songs in my book. And they're all pretty equal, you know?
Yep.
The Curse of the Pharaohs.
Well, I'm going to be the copycat once again.
Who you copying?
Curse of the Pharaohs. Number 5.
You're copying me now.
I'm copying you now. Yep. I'm letting Brian off the hook. Yep.
4 Melissa albums on number 5.
Melissa.
All right.
Is that you, Melissa? That's in my honorable mention. So, anyhow.
All
number
right.
4.
Number 4, I have the Old Oak Tree. I have the Old Oak off of In the Shadows. Came out in 1993. The beginning riff sounds like a dancing shadow, which is perfect for In the Shadows. My favorite part is the breakdown / acoustic part, where then it goes into a nice guitar riff. Then after that, Kinks comes in. It just turns into this big epic moment. I love this song. It's incredible. And
he's got the record, man.
There you go.
People think I'm Garth from Wayne's World, so I might as well just catch into the whole thing. It's like, party on, man. I saw someone a couple weeks ago was like, "Oh, thanks for having Garth Argyle on the show." I'm Garth, I'm rock and roll, right?
People in their weird comments, right? Anyway, that's a great song, Elliott.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked that because that's another one that I agonized over.
Yeah, me too.
I do love that record. It's like, gosh. So number 4, I have one of the first songs I ever heard from Mercyful Fate when I was in London in 1982 or 3. I can't remember now. Somebody gave me the Mercyful Fate demo tape, and I think I listened to it over and over and over again. That was one of the heaviest things I'd ever heard in my entire life at that point. And it's still pretty heavy today, so I picked Return of the Vampire. Also a great remake of that on In the Shadows with my friend Lars Ulrich playing on drums. Might have heard of it. I don't know.
Yeah, that was on my list the other day. It didn't make the cut somehow, but another great song, Return of the Vampire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a certain part in that song when it gets to the chorus, it kind of sounds like Ghost kind of copied them there. There's a certain melody that King Diamond sings, and it's on the song Ritual from Ghost, too. So
wait a minute.
Yeah,
Our first Ghost King Diamond comparison today.
Meanwhile, musically, aside from little aspects like that, they're really not very similar at all. Ghost.
No, I agree. But as soon as you see that, it's like,
But there's little spots like that Elliott mentioned, which is why I think people said that they.
Yes, yeah. And of course, the occult connection, too.
Yeah, mostly on their first album. I haven't heard many of those comparisons their last couple, but their first album, absolutely. I think now I get more like Blue Oyster Cult stuff going on,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, we have 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're flying here.
You're forced
mine, I'm at number 4, right?
Yep.
And it's Satan's Fall. And could be number 1, but that song is just so epic. And it's just an amazing song, I think. All the changes and different parts, and just love it. So we're running out of time. So number 4, Pete.
Satan's Fall.
Copycat.
I'm telling you, it's like I didn't put a list together, guys. I'm just following everybody else here.
Daisy, he's a copycat. I had to get Daisy. Now everybody saw I was wearing Superman shorts today.
All right, for my number 3, I have Egypt. This used to be my favorite Mercyful Fate song. We saw this live at November 2015 at the PlayStation Theater. Has one of my favorite riffs of all time in it, and there's a certain part where King sings along with the guitars, and he sounds like he's summoning the devil. Another amazing song.
Yep.
I'm sure he is. So I went a little off the charts as well for my number 3. I picked, and I put this really high because I not only do I love this song, but the video for this song I think is probably the best like promo video that Mercyful Fate ever make, which is Dance from the Time record. Absolutely love it. And again, the video is super cool. I was there for a lot of the shooting. It was fun. And check that out if you haven't seen it. Go to YouTube.
That's a cool choice. Unexpected.
Oh,
I wasn't paying attention because my phone was ringing and I shut it off. All right, good. All right, I'm at number 3. It's a dangerous meeting, we're told, from Don't Break the Oath. How did I not put that in the top 3? At first, I almost overlooked it. Like I said, I've been listening to Fate all week in the car or whenever I'm doing anything. And that's my number 3. I think it's already been explained how good the song is. And Pete, we're running out of time, so let's rock it.
Anybody want to guess what my number 3 is?
Dangerous Meeting.
Yep. Dangerous Meeting.
Well, let's see.
I think like 3/4 of my picks have been exactly the same as someone else on the team here.
Well, if you can get the same 2 as I am, I'll give you a $10 gift certificate to Rock Fantasy. How's that?
All right, you're on. You're on. Elliot, you're up.
All right, for my number 2, I have come to the Sabbath off Don't Break the Oath. We saw King Diamond also play this song live at the PlayStation Theater. I love the final epic solo with the singing. I also love the acoustic guitar parts where it shifts from distortion back to acoustic guitar, and his vocal melodies in that song are just incredible. I mean, he's one of the best singers in metal.
Yep, and I am from my number 2. I'm going to also mirror Elliott and do "Come to the Sabbath" from Melissa.
Wow. And for my number 2, Come to the Sabbath. Pete?
This one's for the unborn, Night of the Unborn for my number 2.
Oh my God, we almost had a full checkerboard.
Almost.
Here.
Yeah, I had to ruin it. See, I've been kind of following everybody else.
The Night of the
Unborn
made your top 10 too. That's cool.
Yep. Great one. All right, the number 1s. Here we go. Elliot, what you got?
All right. I have Curse of the Pharaoh off the Melissa album. The main reason why this is number 1 is because the singing melodies are just perfect. It's my favorite singing melodies. I know I just said that for Come to the Sabbath, but this is my favorite. And what I like about it is that you sound like you're on a motorcycle on a highway wearing leather. It sounds like some Judas Priest riffs, and it's very simple but awesome. So like other Mercyful Fate songs, they're amazing. They have all these awesome parts, but this is just some rock and roll whenever I listen to it.
Cool.
Great song. So for my number 1, I picked what I think, in my opinion, is one of the perfect songs, not only just a Mercyful Fate song, but great riff, great chorus, super catchy, leads are amazing. Evil, off of Melissa, of course. And the lyrics, too.
And whatever Brian just said, I'm going to repeat because I picked Evil also, and I guess he put it just as well as I could. Strong song, and doesn't get much better than that one.
Evil, number 1 for me.
Woohoo!
One of the best album openers ever, I think.
Yep.
I mean, that riff kicks in, man. Woo.
All right.
Love it.
So we got the top. We made it, and we still. I didn't even realize that timer wasn't there last week, was it?
You know, I did the one with Caffrey the other day, and we never got the 40-minute time limit. We wound up doing like a 47-minute show.
Yeah,
I don't know. Everyone is different. It's just bizarre. I think it depends on how many people you have. Sometimes.
Honorable mentions.
Real quick, honorable mentions are stuff that everybody else has picked: Doom by the Living Dead, Dangerous Meeting, The Oath, Curse of the Pharaohs. All amazing songs. Real quick shout out to Corey from Trivium texted me last night, and he watched the King Diamond top 10. Cool. And super into it. He said that he was glad I mentioned Shrine because that would have been his number 1. And he threw it out there. If we want to have Corey from Trivia on to do one of these, he's in. So shout out to him, and he said he liked it and he's into it. So there you go.
Pete would like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let him know yes. So
yeah, he's a good guy.
That'll be cool.
I know he's not.
I've got a top 5 list from the 90s because I kind of split it up. Angel of Light, which Elliott mentioned already. The Witch's Dance, Egypt. The Melissa remake, Is That You, Melissa? And In the Shadows, also the title track from that album. And of course I have to put non-90s, Nuns Had No Fun, and Return of the Vampire, and Nightmare were things that didn't make my list.
Yeah.
So Elliott, Pete?
Return of the Vampire was on my honorable mentions.
I had House on the Hill from 9. Dead Again from, obviously, Dead Again. What else? My Demon from Time, which actually was in my original top 10 and it got booted. Desecration of Souls from Don't Break the Oath, and also Return of the Vampire. Nuns Have No Fun and Melissa are my other honorable mentions.
I'll just say honorable mention to every other Mercyful Fate song that I didn't pick.
There we go. An honorable mention to the entire catalog. All right.
Another honorable mention is
that you can get on Spotify and Apple Music and anywhere else.
Yep.
And Metal Blade's reissuing a lot of the great stuff from King Diamond Mercyful Fate, and you can pre-order it on rockfantasy.com right now, or of course probably directly through Metal Blade. So if you want to
either or
purchase anything, and Elliott did pick up a couple from us.
Most of them.
Yeah.
In the mail.
So it's kind of cool. We did a Mercyful Fate King Diamond show a couple weeks, and you got some new, not new music, but some reissues and whatever else coming out. And were they changed to all these reissues? Or they remastered or anything, Brian?
So what we did is King picked the original masters that he loves the most, the way they originally sounded he thought was the best. So he went with the original masters that he likes. We always give him the say of what he wants out there. So we booked the original masters, and they sound really good. And it's obviously a little bit updated on better vinyl and stuff. So it's pretty cool. A lot of graphics and stuff in there, pretty cool. So
cool,
awesome, sounds good. So I believe this crew is coming back next Saturday for a top 10 songs of Celtic Frost, right? Is that what we're doing?
Is that what we're doing?
Awesome.
All right, cool. Awesome. I know we mentioned coming up a Slayer one down the road.
Slayer 2, and I think Voivod. A lot of people ask about Voivod. So all right, cool.
If you want to get the guy from Trivium, can you do 5? You're not going to have time to do 5 all at once, are we?
We can figure it out. Maybe we have everybody do. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think the more the merrier. Maybe I'll just be the the host, and I'll let you guys.
The ringmaster.
Yeah. We'll see. So
that means we could. That means if you're not playing, we could do like Ghost and Sabaton.
Sabaton. Anyway.
No disrespect, because I do like them, but yeah, I don't think I could pick top 10 Sabaton either.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's when P has to pull in other hired guns for those.
There you go.
I'll sit that one out.
All right. Cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. For Brian, for Steve, for Elliott, I am Pete Pardo. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. We'll see you guys next week with more metal Saturday afternoon. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, and thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.